free agency finally started. A lot of players did resign with their team in the first 2 days will get extension to make sure they will stay on that team if they don't request any trade. And I think the Kings did a pretty decent and good job in the offseason so far. They, like I mentioned about, re-signed a lot of players back. Harrison Barnes, 3 years, $54 million. Like about $18 million per year, but I think it's pretty good in 2023 because even though Harrison Barnes kind of struggled and didn't perform well in the playoffs, during the regular season, he was pretty good. He averaged like 15 points on good efficiency, like 48% field goal and 37% on three. That's a pretty decent efficiency. So I think it's a fair deal. Like, and he's only 31. It's not like he declined a lot last season or anything. He did lose some touches because the Kings, they got Sabonis. What do you expect? Like, at best, Harrison Barnes is like the third best offensive player, and at worst, he could be the fifth. Like when Herter and Keegan Murray like caught on fire. So, and yeah, the Kings also re-signed Trey Lyles, a key role player off the bench. He can sometimes run the center, but he mostly is a power forward. He can shoot, and he hustles, and his hustle grabs the Kings fans' heart, including mine. And they traded for Chris Duarte from the Indiana Pacers. He's 26 already, despite he's going to the third year of his NBA career. He had a pretty bad last season due to injuries, and also like Pacers they went to a different direction, like with Halliburton and more minutes for Benedict Mathurin. The trade is not yet finalized, so it's still not sure what the exact draft capitals that the Kings will give to Indiana, but it's probably just like 1 or 2 second-round picks. Duarte, his rookie season is pretty good, and Sabonis was his teammate. He averaged about I believe 13 or 14 points on okay efficiency, like 43 and 37, 36. And for a rookie guard or wing player, that's not bad. He's probably gonna be off the bench. So the Kings' new starters will seem to be the same as last year, but they did make some changes towards the bench as they lost Chimezie Metu and they traded away Rashawn Holmes. They are gonna lose Terrence Davis in free agency. But today, they also signed the EuroLeague MVP. And the person they signed is Sasha Vezenkov. That's a pretty cool name. Well, maybe it's just me. But Vezenkov came out of the season, averaged about more than 17 points and shot the ball 37% from three. And even though it's just the EuroLeague, but EuroLeague MVP, as I mentioned, Doncic was it. Obviously, he was way younger. Vezenkov is 27, so he's not old. He's probably in the middle of his prime and fits the Kings' key players' timeline. Like Fox is 25, Sabonis just turned 27. And yeah, and Vezenkov, don't really watch EuroLeague. I don't know. It's probably not just me, but here in the US, a lot of people don't really pay attention to EuroLeague or players from other league. And he didn't sign crazy contract. He signed a 3-year and $20 million, so about $8 million per year, and probably gonna be off the bench. And maybe he can run some 5. He's 6'9", and the Vezenkov news have been around for basically the entire year. Did he want to come to the United States or stay in near his home in Europe? But I'm kind of excited to see Vezenkov because EuroLeague players, yeah, it's kind of unknown to me. So he's probably the power forward and center off the bench, kind of like Trey Lyles. I really hope he can somehow surprise me and be the starting power forward. That would be pretty, because he can shoot. He's a stretch four, and he next to Sabonis. I saw some highlights. It's highlight, but his release is quick, and he shot high 30% from three. I don't know about if you really have the same length of the three, but yeah, he's the best player in the second best league on the planet Earth. That's a dub for the Kings. And later today at night, they extended Domantas Sabonis to a very lucrative deal. He will earn originally he will earn about 20 mil, just 20 million for an All NBA player. In the upcoming 2024 season, but now it's bumped to 29 mil, about 8 million plus, like the original. And the next 3 years, he will earn like 40 million. So I mean, the Kings, they also resign Alex Len on a minimum for like a backup center. They still can afford a decent role player. So right now they got De'Aaron Fox, a point guard De'Aaron Fox, Davion Mitchell. That's pretty good. And they got Kevin Herter, a shooting guard, and the bench will be Malik Monk. That's also pretty good. And Keegan or Harrison Barnes, they sometimes play like the same position. So let's say Keegan Murray as the 3, and the backup could be Chris Duarte. I really excited to see Duarte, and hopefully he's healthy this year, because like I think he's also a plus defender. So that's exciting because the Kings need size. He's like 6'6". So, and also Kessler Edwards, he has shown some defensive potential last season, and that's pretty good. Sometimes like we need like a lengthy dude to bother, to stay on the perimeter to bother the opponent's guards or wings. If Kobe Jones or the second round picks they drafted, Kobe Jones and Jalen Slauson are decent, maybe they could give some minutes as well. And power forward, Harrison Barnes and Trey Lyles, Sasha Vezenkov. And center, you got Domantas Sabonis, who just got back today, and Alex Len. But they still have a chance. If I'm the Kings GM, or I mean I am the Kings fan, I want them to get a backup center that's more reliable than Alex Len, provides more, let's say, like rim protection. And like look at the Raptors, they are kind of they lost Fred VanVleet to that insane contract from Houston. Houston is just giving away money. They gave VanVleet like 3 year, was it 130 mil? That's insane. That's over 40. That's like 43 million per year. And they paid Dillon Brooks 20 million per year, for the next 4 years. Dang, the Grizzlies didn't even want Dillon Brooks back, but Houston, they are literally just spending money to spend money because they have so much in cap space. It's good to have these veteran players like Brooks, VanVleet. Oh yeah, no Harden going there. I don't believe so. Probably the Clippers. But yeah, I guess it's for them. Like, I mean, Dillon Brooks for 4 years. That's kind of long. VanVleet 3 years. I'll see. But like, they're gonna pay Jalen Green maybe in like the next few seasons or maybe the next one. Not really entirely sure what the Houston Rockets thinking, but yeah, it's kind of crazy how they were throwing money to these, like big money to these good and decent players. Today, it's been so long. Damian Lillard finally requested a trade, and it's probably like 99.9% sure it's going to the Miami Heat. So that's exciting for Damian Lillard. Like, even Portland Trailblazers fans are begging Lillard to like request a trade because he has been grinding for so long. Loves the city, loves the fans, loves the team, and trusts the front office, even though the front office has failed him so many years, almost a decade. Like, basically, the only good players that Lillard had ever played with was LaMarcus Aldridge and CJ McCollum. I guess Jeremy Grant is pretty not bad, but I wouldn't like. I would still put like McCollum and Aldridge like above Grant. And Aldridge is probably the best. I think they got pretty lucky that Charlotte didn't pick Scoot Henderson, so they can have a fresh start. You still got Anthony Simons. Nurkic may be a trade candidate in the near future, and you got like Shaedon Sharpe, who has shown like great potential. And I mean, he's still only 19 years old, or maybe he just turned 20. I forgot. He's young. And Nazir Little, like first round pick from a few seasons ago. Yeah, but Scoot Henderson, man, I think he's like the second best player in the entire draft. I feel like he and Wembanyama are like 1 or 0.5 tier above like all the rest, at least for the rest of the draft pick. So yeah, the Kings, people thought they were gonna go crazy on free agency, such as Kyle Kuzma, Chris Middleton. They extended Sabonis, so they only have, as I said, like mid-level exception or something like can sign a decent role player. And rim protection, you still got. Maybe Toronto wants to like rebuild. Maybe Chris Boucher is a pretty fun dude. He can shoot the three. Mo Bamba could be another option. He just got waived by the Lakers. I think he had some struggle, but like he can sometimes shoot three. And under Mike Brown, the reigning coach of the year, maybe he can do something. And I mean, he's a lengthy tall dude, so I mean, he can help block a lot of shots. He actually had a good season last season when he was on the Magic. It was pretty good. If you look at the per 36, I really hope. I mean, OG Anunoby probably maybe still has a chance to counter Sacramento, but I'm really content like the Kings. They trust like the chemistry they built last year, and they want to go with the same people. I respect that, and I really hope Harrison Barnes can prove people wrong because he had a pretty bad postseason. We shouldn't switch a player or like overpay for Kyle Kuzma and ignore the chemistry and the stability of the team. And Harrison Barnes, I mean, he's a pretty respected dude in the locker room, and he's like one of the only veterans. So yeah, free agency has been pretty fire so far. Houston has been throwing a lot of money. Lakers signed a lot of great free agents like Taurean Prince, and they re-signed Dillo, Austin Reeves, Hachimura, the important pieces. They did lose Dennis Schroeder, but they also signed Cam Reddish, and Westbrook signing for like 2 years less than $8 million is just kind of depressing because he had a pretty good playoff performances this year. Like yeah. I mean, if we see Kawhi, Paul George, Westbrook, and Harden on the same team, it's kind of funny because they are like over their prime, like pretty clearly. So I don't know how that will work, but I think that's gonna be called another super team. And finally, I just want to say something. What the heck? I repeat, what the heck is wrong with Twitter, dude? Why is this rate limited exceeded thing? Just so annoying. I wonder why. I like to use Twitter on my phone because it's so convenient. When I'm eating lunch, when I'm eating dinner, Twitter. And when I'm playing video games with other friends, I use my phone for Twitter. And then now they have this limited thing. Oh my god. Come on, Elon Musk. Please remove this. Hope this won't stay long. But yeah, let's continue enjoying the free agency.